Good morning. This is May the 1st, and today we are going to be at Fort Yargo State Park. Currently, I am located, where is it? Here's the main entrance, and I'm right here at the visitor center. Typically, what I have done in the past is I would take this blue line all the way around the park and come back. And if you do that whole thing, that's a 6-mile hike. Today, we're going to go back out to Highway 81, which is right outside the exit of the park. Take a right and go up to a road that's right up here somewhere. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's called Lee Street. Take a right on that, and that's a side entrance to the park, which is the Wilkins Greenway Trail. And that shows it's a paved trail. It goes out to that outside the parking area. So if you don't want to pay to get in the park, but you want to do some hiking, you can park there. There's like space for maybe 20 cars, and then you can hike in on a paved trail. It's about a mile from there to where we are here, or here. So I will go out there and I will see you at the head of the trail there in just a moment. Okay, we made it to the head of the Wilkins Greenway Trail. And yeah, there's probably about 20 parking spaces here around the parking lot. And here's the Wilkins Greenway, the start of it. And we're going to hike at least to the visitor center where I was just a few minutes ago. From the entrance of the park, I turned right on highway on whatever, I think it's route, I'm not sure what it is, a State Highway 81. And I came up maybe a mile, probably not quite a mile, on the right to Lee Street. And take a right on Lee Street, and maybe a couple hundred yards, this place is on the right. So it's a nice paved trail. Well, we got some trail rules here. We'll take a brief look at this. You can pause it, you can look at it if you want. You can even do bikes on this trail. A lot of people bring their dogs too. Again, this is May 1st, 2024. Beautiful morning. It's about 10:30 in the morning. I can smell some beautiful flowers over here. This is a nice wide trail, and it doesn't cost anything to park there. So normally to get into the state park, you'd have to pay like $5 per car. Or you can get an annual state pass, which is what I have. This is probably the nicest trail at the Botanical State Park. I'm not at the Botanical, this is Fort Yargo State Park, sorry. I was looking at one of my other videos earlier today and I got mixed up. Yeah, you should look up my video on the Botanical State Park. It's beautiful there. And they have this new structure there that they did a couple of years ago called the Porcelain Arts Center. That's a beautiful thing. So this is a great paved trail. You can take dogs and strollers. Cattail reeds over here. Oh, this dog really loves to sniff things. Morning, guys.
Morning.
Or is it afternoon? I'm not sure. No, it's still morning. Okay. And a couple of times they'll have benches like over here off to the side where you can sit down. And just enjoy the sounds and the atmosphere. Here's a brief history of the Wilkins family, which this trail is named after. So you could pause that and read that if you wish. It's always nice just to hear the birds and the other animals. In this park I have seen deer. And other wildlife. Morning. Morning. At the moment, it's a nice, cool spring day. Morning. Morning.
Good morning.
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 Up ahead, you'll see there's a bridge that we're going to go under. And that is a road that's actually on the state park property. I believe it heads back around to some of the RV camping and things. Morning.
Morning.
wear that one. She can wear that. She can alternate it. Well, the one.
Morning.
Good morning.
You'll hear an interesting echo when we go through here. Hello. Hello.
Nothing's going to come. It's just going to alleviate.
There's a couple more trails going off, bike trails. And there's a bridge over here to the right. That's the bike trail. Goes up that way. It's the blue trail. I think there's a couple places when you do the main loop around the park, the 6 mile hiking loop, that part of it where the biking and the hiking is combined. Normally they're separated, which is a good thing. I remember years ago I was hiking on the bike trail accidentally on part of it and almost got run over by this guy that was coming down. And there was sort of a blind spot. He didn't see me till he was almost on me. So I generally try to stay off the blue trail if I can. Only where it's combined would I do stay on it. Beautiful day. There's the squirrel. Okay, up here to the left I see the main trail that you would take if you were hiking to go around the park. Right here. And that goes that way. So that's where I would normally go if I were hiking around the park. I think my last video here was almost 2 years ago, and they had the lake drain dramatically because they were building a new bridge up ahead here. This is not the new bridge, but this would be the start of the lake. This is where water flows, one of the points where water flows into this lake. And now you can see it's full. The water level is high now. So we'll see that when we get in view of the lake better. And they finished that bridge. And they built a number of new buildings now. In fact, right up here ahead, they had some old cabins that they just tore down and rebuilt. These things are beautiful. They're huge. I mean, they look like they're meant for multiple families up here. I think they got 3 or 4 brand new ones up in this area. Good morning.
Good morning.
And you can see how full the lake is now. It's back to its, I believe, original height. One difference now that wasn't there before is when they had the lake drained, all this foliage grew up out in the lake. And even though the lake is full now, the foliage is still up. And so it looks dramatically different than it did before. It used to be all open. And now you can see there's stuff growing out in the middle of it, because this is this is an area where it's not very deep at all, like just a foot at the most, maybe a little more, maybe 2 feet. And there's the new bridge off in the distance, you can see. It's all done. We'll walk across there so you can see it. It'll be on the other side of the visitor center. And the structure straight ahead is a fairly new building too. They did in the last, I think they finished it about a year ago. And it's a sort of like a conventions, not really a convention, but it's a meeting place. You can rent it out, weddings, or I've seen other events held there. There's a parking lot right in front of it. I remember walking last time I was here, it was like full. I felt like walking in there and just saying, hey, what's going on? I didn't. Okay, this is the end of the Wilkins Greenway. Willoway.
Sorry, you were gonna say something.
Morning.
Morning.
I can't get you to go more than 2.
Well, those ladies were pushing some future hikers there. Okay, we're coming up to the visitor center. That's where I was when I first started this video, telling you where we were going to go today and what we were going to do. Here's the visitor center. And they have restrooms right here on my left. And you can see that the lake is totally full. There's somebody. You can see somebody out there in a canoe or a kayak about to go under the bridge. Okay, let's start heading out to look at the bridge. I see another kayaker out in the distance there. There's the one that just made it under the bridge. Nice bridge. I think what I like about this park is the facilities. They're very nice. They're making good improvements to everything. I talked to someone in the visitor center earlier and found out that, well, I already knew when my wife and I came out here maybe a month ago and started doing a hike this direction. Just, we were going to hike to the beach and back. And, but not even halfway there, the trail was closed. And there was no explanation. They just had it roped off, so the trail was closed. And I actually tried going around it into the woods, and it was just blocked for a long time, so we didn't do it. We just turned around and came back. Well, I just talked to someone in the visitor center, and found out that they have the beach closed for improvements, and it won't be done until about a year from now. Okay, I'm going to stop here in this little area here, take a little look around. Way over there is the trail that I came in, that Wilkins trail. And over here is the visitor center. And here's the slow pan of the lake. You see all the growth out here now. And there's those guys out there kayaking. So the beach is closed, so they've closed the trails that head to it. So it's going to be a year before I can do the total loop, which I would love to do, and take a video of the entire thing. I'd probably break it down in 2 or 3 videos because it's at least a 2-hour hike for me. Okay, you see that person over there on the right? That's where the original trail came through and met up there and went straight. Okay, let's turn around and see the side of the lake. The growth over there still. Beautiful day. Those tall pines there. Wow. There's that new building off to the right, the meeting center. Okay, here's the visitor center. Your typical souvenirs, t-shirts, postcards and whatnot, maps. You can get a state pass, park pass there. There's a nice history of the park right here. There's a Mayberry watershed formation of the state park, and this park was one of the first of its kind. And there actually is a Fort Yargo building over there, which you can see in many other videos. I'm just interested more in the trails. It's a little structure, and they've repaired it, made it look like new. And here's the other side of those four structures I showed you earlier. I believe they're places for families to rent out. Morning. Morning.
Morning. I'll be so.
Okay, we're coming up to that bridge that we walked through earlier. And to the left there is a creek. I think I forgot to show you that. Let's take a brief look at it. and it pretty much runs parallel to the trail that we've been on until it hits the main lake. Okay, let's head back. My favorite tunnel. I can still hear the creek off to my left here. Don't remember if I mentioned this, but Fort Yargo is, I believe it's in the city of Athens limitation, not Athens, Winder, which is maybe 15 miles distance from Athens. So this is a nice park to come to if you live anywhere near Winder. Morning.
Good morning.
There's a future hiker.
Yep.
We're definitely gaining elevation going this way. The creek is right off to my left, but you can't hear it because it's just a slow meandering part of it right here. There's no rapids. Here's some people off to the left enjoying the bench, resting. I believe that's the same two people I saw sitting at another bench further on down the trail where we came from when we were going the other way. Morning. So you guys are pushing two future hikers.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Okay, we're almost done. Right up here is the parking lot for the outside park entrance to this trail. I will have hiked more than 2 miles because it was just 1 mile to the visitor center. And according to this, it's taken about a little over 40 minutes. I'll probably edit out a couple parts here though. All right, this is Marcovian signing off. Have a great day, guys, and please subscribe.